Welcome to this week's discussion on the habit of prayer. When we talk about prayer, many people say, I don't know what to say when I pray. Let's face it, what can we tell God that He does not already know? Have you ever tried to pray and be so distracted that you find yourself rambling or forgetting what you just said? As humans, we usually have a difficult time with silence as well. If there is a pocket of time when no one is talking, it can become difficult. That is natural for many of us. Yes, we need to do all we can to concentrate on what we are saying and asking, but life gets in the way. More importantly, we should listen to God than it is to talk. God does want to hear from us because it shows us how much we need Him. I believe that the important thing in prayer is to have a habit of prayer. That is, various times throughout the day that are for God alone. Some will say, I don't have the time. Or some will say, I tried, but something interfered. There are times that it may not happen at a certain time every day, but what is important is that it does happen. For example, I have several prayers that I start my day with. Some are short and some are longer, like the Rosary and Divine Mercy, especially when I am flying and must leave early in the morning. I will just get ready and go to the airport. Before getting on the plane, I will do all my prayers that I have to read. Once on the plane, I bring my earbuds and listen to my app for the Rosary and Divine Mercy. Am I interfered with the overhead announcements? Of course, but this is God's time, and I do the best I can given what life throws at me that day. During the many years that I have said these prayers, I have never missed saying them, although some were certainly recited with more thought than others. Prayer is my priority, but on a flexible schedule. God doesn't care what time I pray, only that I do come to Him in prayer. Until my morning prayers are complete, my day has not begun. My personal experience with prayer is that I start a prayer with the intention of saying this or that, and then there are times when God just takes over and I am just listening. I am not saying that God does not want to hear from us, because He does want us to come to Him for everything, but we should listen as well. Many of my discussions, like this one you are listening to right now, have come to me when I was praying. One of my prayers before I start writing is to ask God to guide me with His words and topics for me to write down. I find that I must have a pen and pad of paper at the ready wherever I go, so I can write down what God is telling me right away before I forget it. One time I had to ask God to slow down because I cannot write that fast. I was on an elliptical in the gym with my prayer card in front of me, trying to give thanks to God for various blessings, when He interrupted me to give me 3 more talks. I had to quickly email some notes to myself as soon as I was done. They do not always come at a time that is convenient for us, but if we do not open the line of communications with God, how can He talk to us? I think God may be saying, too bad, just pay attention. Today, I would like to provide you with a guide that I use from Matthew Kelly from Dynamic Catholic. I will give you the guide topics and tell you how I use it. I recommend writing down the topics from the outline and customizing what you want to say for each topic. Once done, make a card out of it and carry it with you for whenever you find an opportunity to pray. Again, it is a guide, and we should each conform it to our own needs. The most important part of this is to establish a habit of prayer. No matter how distracted we are, we should pray. I am sure that many of you are saying, I don't have enough time to spend very much time praying. I get it. But then I would ask what your priorities are in life. Do you have time to eat, sleep, watch TV, play some type of electronic game or social media? It is not that we do not have the time. It is that we do not manage our time for those things that are most important to us. These are the 7 steps.
Gratitude.
What am I grateful for today? My family, my job, my health, my life. What can you add to this? As you pray, you will most likely think of more things to add.
Awareness.
When was I not the best that I could be? What can I learn from this today?
Significant moments.
What are you telling me today? Do I see you in other people and events?
Peace.
What have I done to offend you today? What have I failed to do for you today that you wanted me to do? Please forgive me and grant me your peace.
Freedom.
Father, how do you want me to change today? How can I become the person you want me to become?
Others.
Who and what do you want me to pray for today? Guide me to make the changes in my prayer that you want me to change. Recite the Our Father.
Intercessory prayers.
This is where I add my prayers for the intercession from various saints for specific purposes. Here are a few examples. Saint Mother Teresa saw Jesus in everyone she helped. I ask her to pray for me to be able to see Jesus in others too. Saint Therese of Lisieux did all she did with such great love. I ask her to pray for me that I can put the needs before my own as often as I can. Saint Monica is the mother of Saint Augustine, who lived the beginning of his life in the darkness of the world. She prayed for her son to see the light of Christ, and he later became a doctor of the Church. I ask her to pray for those I know that do not know the light of Christ. There are many other saints you may know of to add to this topic, as well as other requests for any of the other topics. Remember that this guide is just a starting point. I started praying this prayer many years ago, and I am still adding things to it all the time and changing things that I ask for, depending on what is happening in my life. How important is prayer to you? Have you put praying on your calendar yet? Have a blessed week. If you would like to receive weekly discussions, please subscribe below. You can also feel free to share any comments.